So there was a really great piece of local journalism that happened yesterday in Green Bay, Wisconsin, home of the mighty Packers, the Fort Howard Paper Company, and a TV reporter named Christopher Engebretson, who works for NBC Channel 26. Democratic Congressman Steve Kagan held a town hall meeting on health care that, not surprisingly, turned nasty. But rather than just reporting on the nastiness as a kinetic event, look, motion, Mr. Engebretson actually paid attention to who exactly was disrupting the event and why. He stuck around afterwards to ask those folks why they were being that way in the meeting and what their views were. And in one case, he got on the Google machine to find out whether or not these folks disrupting the meeting were really who they said they were. Check it out.
Heather Blish is another one who stood out. She introduced herself as just a mom from a few blocks away, not affiliated with any political party. Later, I tried to ask her if anyone sent her here.
No, I was not influenced. I'm not a member of the Republican Party. I have not paid my dues to the Republican Party for 2 years. I left the party.
Her LinkedIn page shows something different. She was the vice chair of the Republican Party of Kewaunee County until last year. She worked on the John Gard campaign, who ran unsuccessfully against Kagan last year. And it says she's a part of the Republican Party for Kagan's district, as well as the Republican Party of Wisconsin and the Republican National Committee. Again, Blish introduced herself as just a mom with no political affiliation with any party.
Ta-da! Journalism! Congratulations to Christopher Engebretson of that local station in Green Bay for going the extra step to find out what was behind the incivility in his town, rather than just covering it like a ping pong match. The supposed mom from down the block who was berating Congressman Kagan, yeah, turns out she's a Republican Party official who worked for the candidate who lost to the congressman she was berating. Also, Patients United Now, which promises you that they're people just like you standing up to the big companies and lobbyists on healthcare reform. They're really Americans for Prosperity. Offices on M Street in Washington, D.C., funded by the largest oil company in the United States. Mob scenes at town hall Tea Party events that the Republican Party chairman says have nothing at all to do with Republicans and aren't being promoted by them in any way. Hey, there they are, being promoted on the front page of Republican Party websites. The laziest possible way to cover or understand what's been happening at these town hall shutdowns is to see that mob rule in action as some sort of indication that healthcare reform is a policy that just brings out the worst in people. Boy, howdy, these two sides sure are fighting it out. You know, these aren't two sides fighting it out. This is Democratic members of Congress trying to hold conversations and meetings about health care with constituents, facing down mobs that are shutting down and drowning out those conversations and those meetings. Fox News today posted a list of town hall meetings for their viewers to consider attending. They posted only Democratic town hall meetings. These are political attacks that frankly aren't even really about health care at all. If this were a debate, if what we were witnessing here was controversy about what to do about the issue of health care, we'd actually be having a disagreement about what to do about the issue of health care. Instead, what we've got is fact-free paranoia and rage being stoked to the point where it stops all discussion. Here's a case in point. The idea that healthcare reform is a secret plan to kill old people. A claim that got an even crazier than usual airing tonight on the Facebook page of the former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin. She wrote, quote, "The America I know and love is not one in which my parents or my baby with Down syndrome will have to stand in front of Obama's death panel so his bureaucrats can decide based on a subjective judgment of their level of productivity in society whether they are worthy of health care. Such a system is downright evil." You got that? Obama's death panel? Sarah Palin thinks that's a bad idea. Wait till all the people in favor of the Obama death panel hear about this. There'll be quite a debate. There's no Obama death panel. There's no plan to kill old people. There's no plan to kill off people who aren't productive enough. There's no plan to kill off any of Sarah Palin's children. And if we were actually talking about health care, instead of waddling through this free-floating morass of factless partisan rage and corporate opportunism, it would occur to someone to notice that the provision being considered by Congress that has Sarah Palin ranting about Obama death panels and the death of her own children was introduced by Republican Senator Johnny Isakson of Georgia. And it's not about killing old people. It's about making it easier for old people to create living wills. A similar provision was introduced by another Republican senator, Susan Collins of Maine. This is a Republican idea, and you know what? It's a good idea. Living wills are a good idea. It's the way that you say what you want to happen at the end of your life, whatever that is. You want heroic measures taken? Great. Say it, so that nobody can say that's not what you would have wanted. That's what a living will is. You don't have to have one, but if you want to have some say over what happens at the end of your life, it is a good idea. It's certainly a bipartisan idea. It's a patients' rights idea, and it's never been considered controversial in the 20-plus years the United States government has been formally encouraging it of its citizens. But instead of debating that actual policy, we get this.
Republicans have a better solution that will not put seniors in a position of being put to death by their government.
A lot of people are going to die. This program of government options is going to kill people.
This started on the kook job fringe. It has now seeped into mainstream talking points against healthcare reform. When you hear it's euthanasia, when you hear it's the government trying to determine your end-of-life care, that's wrong. It's completely made up out of whole cloth in order to scare you. It has nothing to do with the actual policy that's being considered. We're not actually having a debate about health policy in this country. We're not even having a debate about healthcare. This is fact-free. It's just politics. And so getting across real facts now in this cacophonous environment is in part a test of our media and of the reasonable ones among our politicians to communicate about actual facts and actual policy over this deafening racket.